To this place, called Maeshowe, a people came 4,000 years ago to bury one of their great chieftains. They built him a tomb he might be proud of, a huge affair which must have taken them years to plan and construct. One of the walls of the passageway into the burial chamber is lined with a single slab of stone which must be 20 feet long. The chamber itself they built of more long flagstones, some of them weighing up to 3 tons. These remarkable Bronze Age builders, working with dry stone quarried maybe 10 miles away, used no mortar of any kind. Yet they managed to put up a perfectly balanced structure with 10-foot piers at each corner, giving support to the converging roof of overlapping flagstones and preventing any sideways movement of the tons of stones above. And now this burial mound is famous, and archaeologists from all over Europe come to stare at it and to rub their hands in archaeological glee. But not because of the chief or his tomb. In fact, people couldn't care less about the poor old chieftain whose monument all this is. Because some 3,000 years after they'd walled him up here, a gang of wandering Vikings turned up. They pushed their way in here, and in doing so, they themselves have become famous throughout the whole of Europe. And all because they were bored, sitting here in this damp, dank little chamber. And to amuse themselves, they did what people have done for thousands and thousands of years. They wrote on the walls. In this tomb, the Vikings carved 24 separate inscriptions, adding up to the biggest collection of runes of Old Norse script in the world. Ever since the tomb was discovered in 1861, archaeologists and philologists have strained their eyes to decipher this alphabet. When those original Scandinavian tourists decided to leave their mark on this ancient monument, they settled for one of the great classical wall scribbles. In their strange, cryptic, runic scroll, which looks a bit like tree drawings, they wrote quite simply, "Kilroy was here." On this wall, one of them carved, "Hermunder with the sharp axe carved these runes." And this man here signed himself Greedy Arnfeather. But they wrote more than their names. Some of them did what soldiers so often do. They wrote about their girlfriends. And one rather romantic Viking has chiseled out here a little runic hymn of praise to Ingeborg, the fair widow. And while he was singing her praises, a more earthy comrade was boasting about his success over here with a lady called Thorny. Thorny was taken to bed, he wrote, and just to make sure he got credit for it, he added, Helgi did it. Good night.